A bit of lo-fi in the life. Well, welcome. You've got a very moist fact today. Got the rainstorm coming over here to FAC HQ, and I'm excited to be here because it's been so long since we got together. How are you? What have you been up to? It's down at Southport Comedy Festival this weekend with my incredible mate Andy Brown. We were just hanging out with Rich Hall, who's a rather funny man, and yeah, great times. And you know what? It was weird being back in the thick of it with lots of people and being cautious, keeping distance and all that stuff. But at the same time, it's really brilliant seeing the life, seeing the whites of people's eyes, forgetting about the pixels and actually getting out. That's brilliant. Anyway, today, so what I wanted to talk to you about is sell the sizzle, not the sausage. Right. So I have been incredibly busy in my writing mode as part of Wordandmouthcom, which is the ridiculously good content creation company, all about creating quicker conversions for your customers. It's essentially, don't tell anybody, it's actually just me. I'm trying to make people think that I'm way bigger than just me, right? That's how people build brands, isn't it? It's like, it's not just about me, it's everyone. Got a staff of 50 50ths of me. Wordandmouth.com, check it out, it's great. Or at Dave Thackeray on Twitter, because let's face it, who really hangs out to post comments on YouTube or LinkedIn? And I can't even answer you on LinkedIn because Restream won't let you. I think it's something to do with the LinkedIn API. Forget about it. Tell you what today's all about. Sizzle and sausage, what's the difference? Sizzle is the benefits, sausage is the product, service, whatever, right? Because nobody really gives a hoot about that service unless it gives them benefits. So why even bother talking around the product and the service unless you're going to tell the customer what's in it for them? And yesterday I posted something on LinkedIn. It was a throwaway comment because 99% of the time they are, and it was about marketing is being ruthlessly focused on what the customer needs. Now, what the customer wants changes every day. What they need lasts a lifetime. Marie Kondo quote there, you can have that. Maya Angelou came from me, but, have that for free. What do I mean by that? Why is that relevant today? Well, okay, so I have been writing a lot of case studies lately and updating a lot of brochures and editing things that are really designed with one mission in mind, and that is to sell. They're not really focused on generating loyalty, goodwill, good vibe. They're all about posturing, about sort of saying great things about the product, right? Yeah, that's great. And from an internal standpoint, talking to your colleagues, your internal audience, amazing, engenders tremendous pride. It's like, look at these products. Geez, we're so stoked that we are the home of inspiration and innovation. It's brilliant. It's great. Fabulous. So from an internal standpoint, if you're trying to rally the troops and get people feeling passionate and proud, sell the sausage. But that's not to say that your colleagues won't appreciate it if you first sell the sizzle. Now, you'll be familiar with sausages or hot meat. Throw it in a pan. Throw it in a cold pan. Does nothing, does it? Throw it in a hot pan. That Danish bacon thing was all about it, wasn't it? It was all about the sizzle. Right, so whenever you're writing anything, you've always got to put yourself in the shoes of the customer. Always. Never not. Even if it's, and I say even because they're just as important, your primary customer audience may be your colleagues, because let's face it, without your colleagues, you don't get the business done. So I would argue that actually your colleagues are just as important, if not than your clients or your customers or your end users. But you start off with what exactly is going to float your customer's boat about whatever it is. Case studies always say, right, it's all about there's a narrative, there's a hero's journey to it. It's like, right, okay, define the problem, define the solution, and then outline the outcome and the benefits and the success from it and what the next is. In many ways, that's a great framework for anything that we write about. The hero's journey specifically always works. But whenever we're selling the sizzle, this is all about the really punchy, impactful facts that are going to resonate with the audience to compel them to buy. And you want to impel them rather than compel them, because compel is kind of like a little tickle, and the impel is the push, the prod. Come here, you know you need this. That's the compel, impel, imperative, I suppose. Okay, so I wasn't expected to go down that rabbit hole today. Okay, so whenever I'm writing anything, if it's a privacy policy, if I'm writing a speech for somebody who's about to deliver a keynote presentation, if I'm writing a product page, if I'm writing a brochure, if I'm dark, why am I so dark? Whatever I'm doing is all about the hooks, the 3 or 4 hooks that I know are really going to set this customer ablaze. So if you are in butchery, imagine as a customer the excitement about meat, right? What is the excitement about meat? Well, it's the succulence of the food, right? So if you can get your customer thinking about how tasty, how mouth-watering your meats are, you might want to share a story of a customer who's given you some sort of feedback saying, do you know what? This was the most delicious tomahawk steak I've ever devoured. And then go into a bit about, the marbling was perfection itself. And I'm taking you on to the next bit now. So if it's not necessarily about the taste, then it's about the sensations, the other sensations, because taste is a sensation, isn't it? So imagine you're selling meat for a barbecue. The sounds of the barbecue, they're hanging out with your mates, they're having a beer, they're finding the guy who wants to stand at the stand by the barbecue and do the hard labor while you hang out. It's that experience. It's ambient marketing. It's getting into those, whatever they are, and saying, these are all the things that we can make you feel. That Maya Angelou quote. They'll never remember what you said. They'll only remember, paraphrasing, how you made them feel. And that really is the job of marketing. You can't physically put the product in front of the customer, but you can do the next best thing. You can express the sensations, the joy, the delight, the excitement of what's going to happen when you use it. And B2B space is exactly the same as B2C. Please do not get hung up on this idea that if you're in a B2B role, that you've got to talk to your customers differently. That's bullshit. There's no room for talking like a politician. You have to be human. You have to empathize. These are the things that drive all of my writing. I'll do it in an engaging way. I'll get some writing and some lighting. I've noticed that the lighting here is awful. Doesn't matter. We're riffing. You've got the voice. You've got the passion. You've got the enthusiasm. And you've got the knowledge. 25 years of this stuff. I know it works, which is why it drives me mad sometimes when I'm working with people and they just can't wrap their head around the reason why they're doing this. And it's for, about, and to excite and be exalted by the customer. That is why we write. Unless you're going to write for yourself, in which case you're probably not going to get paid this month. Anyway, thank you for joining me. I'm going to end the stream now. It's been an absolute freaking delight. Wordandmouthcom if you need any writing done. If you want any writing advice, if your team needs some coaching, if you want some presenting done, if you've got a podcast you want to get off the ground, because it is more than just writing, but let's be honest, stick with what you know. Dave Thackeray on Twitter, Dave Thackeray on LinkedIn. I'm the guy with the Christmas hat because it's never too early. Have yourself a great